What's up, Diamond? Go ahead.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
I just fell in. I didn't know what the exact topic was. I just heard you say a real conversation. So, what are we talking about?
All right. So earlier, right? I'm gonna make it really quick. I said I don't understand how pro-black people who say black people are not a monolith, and then if you disagree with them, the same people will literally insult you and call you Uncle Tom Coon sellouts because you disagree with them. But I have never heard these individuals called the thug who take black life, do drive-bys at cookouts hitting innocent children, a sellout or a coon, or the smuggler who actually sold out product to the black community that got our brothers, sisters, aunts, and mothers and fathers hooked on that shit. These people never call these individuals sellouts, but they'll call somebody like me who never harmed black people. I just have an opinion on the thuggery. Why is that?
Well, this is just my personal opinion. Coonery is a mindset. It's a mindset. So when you say it in a perspective that you just gave, it's saying that because I would think that someone with the mindset that you may have um, is coonery, and then outside of that, because I think that way, that we excuse the other behaviors, right? What I do know about our people is that accountability is upheld. So we don't excuse, and I can only just default back because that's how I know you from the Carmelo Anthony case. I can only default back to that. If he were wrong, that's what would be called out. It would not be protected. It would not be projected. It would not be enforced. None of that. Wrong is wrong. There's many of young or and old and just black men, period, that have done wrong things, and it's like, bruh, all right, shit, you fucked up, and that is what it is. What I see from you, if you allow me to speak openly, no disrespect, what I see from you is that you're in a space to where it's just a out view to where you look at the people that look like you in a negative light, and you depict all the negativity out of what looks like us. I don't know what you've been through or what you have experienced, and it's none of my business. But what it's giving is that what you have experienced is that you only see negative in us. When I say us, I mean me, you, and everyone that looks like us. And that's just my own opinion.
You didn't even answer the question that I asked you.
Okay, ask it again. I'll make sure I answer it.
I said for the pro-black people who say we are not a monolith, and then they get mad at someone black who thinks different, who never harmed someone, who
You said
thinks,
not a monolith?
yeah, we say we're not a monolith, which I agree. So
What
a
is it?
black
What's monolith? I'm sorry, I don't know what that is.
think as a whole. He said we have the same mindset. Like we don't think as like the whole. So we all have our own individual mindset, and everyone thinks different, right?
Of course. Of
So
course.
they're sitting on a monolith. We don't think the same. I agree.
Absolutely.
So they get mad at someone who thinks different, and then say this person is a coon or a sellout because they think different, and this person had never harmed a black person, right? But then the actual smug dealer in our community that's selling poison to our families is actually putting pew pews in other youth hands to do their dirty work, unaliving black life. How come the pro blacks don't call those people sellouts? But
They are.
they don't call them sellouts. They call the person who thinks different than sellout. I'm asking you, why is that?
We don't, well, I speak for myself. I don't fuck with people that do that. I don't fuck with people that tear down our community.
Not you. I'm talking about the people who are saying this. Why they don't do this?
I'm answering because I call people coons. So I can validly, answer that. Like I said, coon is a mindset when it seems like someone that looks like me and you is just opposed to the entire black community, Dance. All of your rhetoric seems like it's just opposed to the entire black community. That goes for your minds. I'm not even looking anymore. Um, it goes to your mods that are the one that I do see um, that are coming for me. Um,
No, I'm not.
it, okay, maybe not. Nevertheless, um, you're following. I'll put it that way.
You stress.
And I heard you on Really's panel the other day, and you do place yourself to have a perspective to try to be extremely neutral. Um, what you should understand, we're not in a world to be neutral because you will get caught up in asking these questions that you're asking. No one is saying, oh, because you don't agree with violent crime that you're a coon, or because you don't agree with the poking. No one's saying that.
Yes, they are.
You're
It just happened on this panel. It just happened.
you're pointing out black crimes, I would say, is what you just described to me. And that's what it seems that you're pointing out. Um, I would love it if you would point out all crimes and then we talk about that collectively, right? Of course, crime happens amongst every community of every nationality. And if we talk about race is truly not color. It's not the color of your
Hold
skin.
on, hold on, hold
Your
on, hold on, hold
skin.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. If you told your child to be home at 8 p.m. and your child come home at 1, and you want to hold your child accountable for coming in at 1, can your child tell you, no, let's address every kid that came home late? Would that be a legit argument for that child?
I'm a little lost on the question. I'll try to answer it the best that I can. So it will not be a legitimate argument.
So your point is not a legitimate argument. I
Can
asked the
you?
question and you never answer my question.
Okay, so I'm lost. um,
The question is this, right? The question again. Not saying you directly, but all right, fine, I'm gonna say it again. For the black person who thinks different, that might vote for Trump, who said Kamala Anthony was wrong, or even calling out the other black people who hurt black women, men, and children by saying, lock these mother effers up. These people are hurting our community, because I'm not going to ignore the sickness. We have one in our community. The person that's saying, let's fight our own cancer by getting rid of the people that's hurting us, that individual is called the sellout,
who
because this
hurt?
person, it wants peace and growth in the community. So I'm
Who hurt?
asking you, for why is that person called the sellout? And then the one who actually unalive black people is not called the sellout by these individuals.
They're called the oppressors, the one that actually unalive or
I call
oppress
them that, and
others.
they call me a sellout for saying that. As I'm asking you, why is it that way?
Let me explain, baby. They're the oppressors. So when it comes on our community, on community crimes, that's isolated. That is completely isolated. When we look at crimes amongst other, and the point I was trying to make before you asked again, when it comes to race, when you go back to the Celtic days, right, and the Celtic days, race is really a like-minded people. It wasn't of a skin color. It was of people that are like-minded. It's a race of people, right? Because we're all in a certain race to get a certain place, if that makes sense. So it dance. What I'm getting from you is just what you have experienced and people telling you things because of you having an open mind and having a diverse mindset. And I get it. I promise you, I get it. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, you have to stand for something or fall for anything. That's all it is. It's okay. You have to be able to be, you should be rather. And when I say you, I'm speaking in general. We should be able to have a diverse mindset because that gives us the opportunity to make a solid decision and make a conscious decision. So I'm not opposed to your open mindset. I've heard you. I've heard you plenty of times. And I think that the question that you asked me, and I said, I think, my opinion, I think the question that you asked me is from your experience of what you've experienced from having an open mindset.
All right. So I want to another question I'm gonna ask you, and I want you to ask me if I'm a shitty. What does make a shitty leader? Do you watch sports or no?
I'm a sports mom. I don't know if that counts.
All right. What sports your child play?
All year round.
No, what sport? Football, basketball, which one?
All of them: football, basketball, baseball, track.
All right, let's go with the basketball team. Let's say your son is on a basketball team, and his team is 1-10, 1 win, 10 losses. And then when your son call out the bad play that his team is having, saying we got to get better X, Y, and Z, the team turn on him and call him a sellout for trying to get the team better. Is that a good team or that's a bad team for calling the captain out for wanting to do better?
First of all, the damn team bad if it was 1-10. So they just fucked up. They just need to have a whole nother coach, right? Look
All
on
right,
hold on,
but
Dan. Hold on, look on the
it's a two-way question. I'm gonna
tab
ask.
thing right there.
So my point is, for the teammates of the team to get mad at him because he wants the team to do better, should those teammates do that or should they want to be better?
Okay, so since we're talking about sports, so when that happens, that usually goes into the locker room, and it's like, hey, and it's a moment of edification and building up, and it's a moment of, hey, this is where we went wrong, and everybody come into agreement, and for me, my son won't be on that team. Okay, just to be honest, right?
Reason why I asked that question, right? Now, what if the coach decides to say, if your son say, yo, we doing bad, man, we gotta do good, and the coach said, but look, the other team doing bad too. Would that be a shitty coach or would it be a good coach to worry about some other team? What his team is 1-10.
It depends on how it's the delivery, and that's what I was gonna get at
No,
next
no,
with.
no. I asked you a question. Would that coach be a shitty coach if he saw said, but look, Captain, the other team is 1-10 too. Would that be a shitty team that a shitty coach for that coach to focus on a different team versus his team right now that's losing?
So, like I said, it would be. Um, I'll say this: I've never told my children in any sport that they lost. When they said, "Oh, we lost," no, you didn't lose. You just didn't win this game. But you're not a loser. You didn't lose. So nothing, no experience is a loss. Dance. I'm trying to get to you. You
Answer the
keep on
question.
shaking.
You're not
I'm
answering the
answering to the
question.
best of my ability.
I asked you about the coach.
It's too broad, right?
The
That's
coach is
a broad.
direct. That's not a broad question. The coach is an actual individual. I'm gonna say it again. If your son is the captain of the team and called out the team for being 1-10, and then a coach says, "No, but the Philadelphia Eagles, they 1-10 too. But what about their team? Would that make a good coach for your team? Yes or no?"
Twofold answer. That sounds like not non-black people that says that. We don't say that. And two, my son would not be on a team that's 1-10. He wouldn't be a captain of a team of that. Because why is he the captain? He's ineffective. So when we hear those arguments, well, what about so and so? Because when we say, well, what about the federal crime rate with white T men and it? Well, what about the black on black crime? We always get the moving of the goalpost, right? So, like I said, I do appreciate your open mindedness on on society. That's needed. It's needed.
So you're not going to answer none of the questions that I'm asking you.
I am answering this to the best of my ability, baby.
I asked you, was he a bad coach? Yes or no? That's it.
Was he a bad coach to compare?
No, if he focused on a different team and deflecting to a different team when his team is 1-10 and the captain of the team is concerned by calling out the team bad play. Is that coach saying, but what about the other teams over there? You know, we gotta focus on the league, not just our team. Would that be a good coach? Yes or no?
It would be an ineffective coach. Yes, it would be an ineffective coach.
So why the fuck, put my language,
You're good.
why, when I hold black people accountable who hurt other black people, we try to focus on all crimes across the board. Everything, this, that, and the third. The white man is. Because I never hear black people say, let's spread the wealth, let's spread the compliments when it's good. When
And
they
that's
say,
why I
hold
said,
on, when they say black women got the biggest asses, yes, yes, girl. Y'all don't say, well, let's give love the ski mask way to white women across the board too. They got some big butts. Or when they say, you know, black women are strong. Y'all don't say, well, I know, they're good at what? No, women across the board are strong. White women too. I never hear when they say black women have the most degrees. Y'all say, yeah, white Asian women got them too.
because
Y'all
they
never say
don't.
this unless
Because it's
it's in
not
the.
true.
No, y'all don't say this. Y'all
It's
accept
not
this when
because it's not true.
what's not true.
Black women are the most educated in the nation.
That's not true though.
Yes, it
No,
is.
it's not exactly Asian Americans. But my whole point I'm making to you,
No, it's not.
the point is, even if it's true, why not say by your logic,
Let's go
no,
back to the
let's
even
no
if
no no
it's
hold on no
true.
no hold on. Why not say no? Let's spread and talk about degrees all across every race.
And black women
Let's
are
talk
still the
about.
most educated in the
You're missing the
nation.
point. You're missing the point. What I'm
Black
saying
women are
to you,
still the most
no,
educated.
listen to comprehend what I'm saying to you.
No, I get it.
No, you don't get it. When I bring up something about us hurting us, you said focus on or it across the board or other races
I
also.
did not say that.
Yes, you did
I said
earlier. You
that we
said
hold
that.
ourselves accountable. I said
No,
the
you
first
mentioned that. That's why I went down this rabbit hole because you said dance focus on crime across the board. You said this. That's why I gave you the sports analogy
let me
because
walk
you
you
said
back real
that.
quick.
No,
When we first came to that crossroad, that's why I went back to Carmelo. I said because that's where I know you from. And
no,
I
because you
said
said
if
it
Carmelo
after.
was wrong,
No, it's
we would have
after.
held him
No, it's
accountable.
after. I'm talking about after that. We got past that. You said literally that dance. My problem is You're talking about us doing blah blah blah, but talk about crime across the board from everyone. So
I
that's why
just
I
said that.
gave the analogy about the sports. Would that coach be a good coach if he decide to focus on other teams across the board versus his own team? That's why I give that analogy.
You would be ineffective. However,
He a bad coach.
you do need to look at the
No, bro.
effectiveness and the sportsmanship and the ability of the other teams as
So
well.
by your logic, I'm
Don't
asking
boxers
you.
look at other boxers how they box so they know how to box?
Missing the
So they
point.
know what they need to do when they get in the ring?
They
Is that
focus way no, they focus way more on their boxers to be better. They don't complain about the other boxers not being good. They focus on what the box.
but we're not the one complaining about white people not being good, Dance.
You,
They the one complaining about us, black on black crime. All we say is leave us alone, and then they start saying, "What about black
I'm
on black
complaining about
crime?"
it because I live in the community when black women and men is being unalived.
So what are you doing to change that? Pause. What are you doing to change it? And I mean that with love.
You prove my whole point.
What are you doing to change it?
You prove my point.
Okay. What's that? A mic?
You prove my whole point when I keep saying about people refuse accountability and then try to deflect somewhere else without answering a
How did I
question.
refuse come out?
Because I was trying to give you, first of all, you took forever to answer the question about the bad coach. You refused to do that. Then you
I
want to
said an ineffective coach. The coach will be ineffective. However, should you look at the ability and the athletes on the other team, just like and I reference boxing.
watch
If
this.
you're
You said
boxing
what
and
am
you
I
have a
doing, right?
boxing
What I'm doing,
opponent,
right? What I'm doing to combat that. First of all, number
if you're
one,
gonna box somebody, you're gonna look at their boxing skills to know how to combat them. Correct?
number one, me bringing awareness is the start. Telling the truth.
But your awareness is bringing what is giving that you're coming down on your black people instead of uplifting and edifying the skin that you're in. That's what it's giving. You don't always have to. That's like raising kids. I don't know if you have children or not, but when you raise children, you can't always just say, "Oh, you did this wrong. You did that wrong. You did this wrong. You did that wrong." You have to uplift them and you have to edify them. Well, this is a good part, and this is what we should do going forward. But it seems like you tear us down every time you get. And like I said, baby, I don't know what your experience is like, but
How
I do
am I
appreciate your
tearing you
open
down? Hold on.
mindset.
This is real. How am I tearing you down for calling out the motherfucker from hurting you?
I call out motherfuckers that hurt me
Not
too.
you. You're making it back about you again. Little Richard syndrome. It's not about you. I'm telling you something. How am I bringing you down when telling the people who is actually harming you stop doing it?
I
How
just
is
looked
that
at my
bringing you
phone.
down?
I just looked at the phone because I put it to my face. I don't look at the comments, but I just looked at this one. And Sonova, baby, you would be safe to not
You're not even going to answer my
keep on
question.
responding to me. Hold on, Dance. I'm coming. Let me just respond to this one comment if you don't mind. What you say, Dom? You not know anything but try to bring the Bible, race, and division. One thing about it, I'm gonna always mention the Most High, so you might not want to play with me. I'm sorry, Dance. What's the last thing you said?
How am I bringing the
You don't care what I
community?
have to say, but you keep on responding to me. That's the last. I'm not gonna look. I usually don't look at comments. Matter of fact, let me swipe them out. Let me see if I can swipe it out. I can't swipe it out. I just won't look at it. Go ahead, sir. My bad.
So how am I bringing down the community for calling out the golden lords that's destroying the community?
You only call out the negative, Dance. Tell me one thing good about the black community.
I
Just one.
asked you a question.
I already told you that you only call out the negative.
I said, how am I'm the one who called out the people who hurt people, how am I the one that only calling out the what do we? Oh my! I can't. My
So I
mind.
didn't say you were the only one that called out the people that
No,
hurt
no,
people, right?
no. Right
So
now,
you
I'm not gonna lie. Right now, I'm getting a brain shortage. Like, you know how the wire get a shortage in a wire? I'm getting it right
I
now.
get it.
I
Hold on, let me
can't
connect it for you. Let
comprehend
me
what you're
connect it for
saying.
you. Let me connect it for you. So you are not doing wrong by calling out and exposing the wrong, right? However, if we continue to just focus on the wrong, when have you said anything positive? Are we all bad? Is all we do is bad? The only thing that I've heard, like I've said, ever since you've been on Carmelo and you do other panels and other stuff and this and that, and I've seen you and I hear you, you come to the panels out mine and all that stuff, right? So I see you. The only thing you call out the bad, what is something good that you can say about us?
The
Is
fact,
are we any good at all?
the fact of the matter is this, right? I'm gonna be 100 with you. Black community want to be coddled for doing degenerate behavior for other black people. The fact of the matter is, you can go, not saying you, but people who don't like my platform, fine. You can go somewhere else when they're going to ignore the cancer and say your eyes is green. You got nice Eric Sherman eyes. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I'm here to address the fucking cancer. End of story. I cannot address cancer. Hold on. I cannot address cancer nice.
I understand. However, like I said, you and I, we pretty much have the same complexion, right? So the only thing I've ever heard you speak on is the negative of us, the
Oh,
skin that you're in. Can you say one thing positive about the skin that you're in? That's all I want to hear, baby. That's it. One thing positive. What is one thing positive about the skin that you're in?
now watch this, y'all. I've done podcasts, I've done lives, bigging up black people by saying most of us are not criminals. Most of us are good people. I said over and over, right? Watch this. I also say there's nothing on God Green's earth that's more beautiful than a black woman. That is numerous times,
That's right.
right? Watch this. I said God
Say it
made
again.
no
Say it
hold
again
on,
for Sanova so she can get mad.
hold on. I said God made no
And
mistake
Peachy.
for giving you your hair texture that your mother and daddy gave you.
Can you start from the top? I need to hear it again because I ain't heard it in a long time. Can you say it again for the top for Sanova and Peachy? Nothing on God's green earth is more beautiful than what?
No, listen what I'm saying to you. Focus here. You down there, focus here. That's why you missing.
No, I'm
Oh no, focus. I know what you're trying to do. Just focus here. What I'm saying to you is this.
you said down there. See what I'm saying? That was
Comment
condescending.
section. You look
So
down
now you're
there.
saying okay. Oh,
You,
oh, my bad,
yes, look up
Okay,
here.
comment. Okay. But I just want you to say it again.
Hold on. I'm getting
Say it
somewhere.
again because it
I'm
sounded
getting.
so
Look,
sweet.
look, y'all. You're proving my point in real time.
It sounded so sweet. Just say
No,
it
listen.
again.
No. Listen.
I'm listening.
God made no mistake when
Mm-hmm.
you grow the texture here that grows from your scalp.
Mm-hmm.
Made no mistake with that.
What you said before that?
Of yourself, love yourself
Mm-hmm.
the way God made you.
Because that profile pic, that's all my hair.
No, you are beautiful the way you
There's
are,
no
right?
weave. Mm-hmm.
Women got mad at that comment.
Who got mad?
Black women, and told me, who
You
am
hating?
I to tell them not to wear wig? I said, I never said that. What are you? This is a thing that
Well,
happens.
that I don't. My little picture down there is kind of small, whatever. But that shortcut, that's all
Focusing on
me, all
yourself.
full, all everything.
You're focusing on yourself again
No,
and
no,
not
no, no, no.
hearing
I'm
what I'm
responding
saying
to what
to
you're.
you.
I am dance. Look. I am. So those are the people that you talk to.
Oh my God.
Those are the people that responded to you in the wrong way. Those are the women that gave you a response that may not have been warranted to what you were saying. I would have agreed with you. Yes, natural state, weave, braids. However, because the first thing you said is a woman was made by God, well, paraphrasing, was made by God, wonderfully and beautifully made. You said that. Who's going to disagree with that? Now, was there something in the midst of that conversation you were having with those particular women that made them feel bad about wearing weave? I don't wear weave unless I get braids. I would have never, you know, what? Get it out.
You proving my point yet
No, I'm
again.
not. No, I'm not.
It's the Little Richard syndrome. Ain't nobody denying for me. Anybody gave me nothing. It's back to you again. And I'm telling you,
You were just giving black women accolades. I'm a black woman. I was accepting them. How you just said black women this, black women that, black women this, and I'm not supposed to say thank you and I accept it. Now it's back on me. And when you were the one that was giving me praise for being a black woman, come on, man.
missing the point.
That's all I'm saying. And I'm going to roll out. And I appreciate the conversation. Thank you for letting me up. I'm going to just say this.
No problem, man. You have
You have a open mind. And like I said, I've heard you on panels. Your mind is open, right? I just want you to focus in on why you teeter in the way that you do. There's nothing wrong with us calling ourselves out. We do it every fucking day. I do it every day.
And I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you call doctors bad for focusing on the illnesses to heal people?
The illness?
Yeah, when they focus on the illness to find out a cure and solution, do you call those doctors bad people because they only focus on the disease so they can find the cure for the disease? Is that person considered bad because they only focus on the disease to find the cure for the disease?
For me personally, I would go to the pathophysiology of why and what created the illness. And then I would conquer what created the illness. Is it mucus? Is it 9 times out of 10 is mucus? So I will go to the root of why the disease is there. Would I say that doctor is bad? No. I may say that doctor is not as knowledgeable, but I would get to the pathophysiology of what's causing the illness. So there's sometimes, like when we deal with viruses, the only thing you can really do with a virus is treat the symptoms, right? And then when you have terminal illnesses, we have to go to the molecular level to understand what is happening. And
All right.
so, in
Would
order
you
to
say
cure
this, right? Because there's people out there that only focus on cancer. Would you shame the person that only focus on cancer and cancer is bad? Or you say, come on, man, you only focusing on cancer. Focus on playing football in the park. Would you tell that individual who's trying to find the cure for cancer that they only focus on cancer so they're bad?
So what you're ultimately saying, and no, I'm not going to answer that question. So listen, hold on, let me finish. What you're ultimately saying is that you are tunnel visioned on focusing on the bad and the negative in the black community. If that's your stance, so be it. So be it. And that is okay. You have all right. You are very entitled. And what I see is that it's a lot of white women that back you up and let me dance. Let me finish, please, sir. I know it's your
I'm starting to believe Kamala Harris is really white. I mean, really black. And I'm gonna leave it as that. I'm starting to think Kamala Harris is a black woman. The reason why I dropped you, Diamond, because it's disrespectful to say I'm not going to answer that question, and then you go around your own way on my platform. And I was nothing but respectful to you. But you're going around the conversation and telling me, that's actually rude to me. So, being that you wasn't going to admit certain things, I just dropped you before I say something that I regret.